I just finished sewing in on this floating panel all my Rigilene boning. And so the next step is to sew these pieces together. And how you do that is you'll sew channels down. So you'll sew in between the boning, you'll sew it together, and then you will actually slide this plastic boning in between the channels. So it will become this stiff panel. So I also, on the back of my corset, I went ahead and added 3 channels on each side where I cut out the zipper. And this was the back zipper that I cut out. So I'm making this a lace-up corset. So this panel, when I finish, I'll put a trim around the edge, and it will have this, so that'll just slide in as a floating panel, and then you'll be able to lace on each side. And for the loops, I'm going to use this cording. It's called rattail cording, and I'm going to create button size loops that run all the way down. And I'm also going to, and this is what I think I'm gonna do, put loops of the rattail cording down the center of this before I put the boning in and before I sew it together. So there will be loops down the center so that when I lace the back of the corset, I can lace this panel as well through. So there'll be loops on this side of the corset, loops on this side, and then I'll also put a row of loops right down the center here and piece it together. And hopefully this will work. This is a friend gave me some advice on how to fix my corset so it was adjustable. And the good news about this is once I fix this, hopefully, you know, if I change shapes or if I ever decide to lend it out, it will be expandable, and also you'll be able to contract it. But once again, this is what the front of my corset looks like. And there's the sleeves on it. But it's a really, really beautiful decorative piece to have all that boning in it. Boning's not hard to do, it's just really time consuming, and you have to be somewhat precise when you're sewing the channels, because the channels will have to lay directly on top of one another, and then you'll sew in between. So just keep that in mind when you're working on your corset.